Yeah, I think there's a queue. There's myself and Kabaya, but he's probably next in line after us, you know. He looked good tonight, very explosive.
This is a young kid, 20 years old, with devastating knockout power, bro. This have Mike Tyson type of energy all over.
One punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Itauma. I mean, he knew that he can get him out and he got him out straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick. Speed kills, as you know. Speed kills.
Alexander Usyk shared his thoughts on Moses Itauma's bold call-out after his knockout win. Usyk admitted that the young heavyweight has talent, but stressed that he wants to take a break before considering his next move. He said he will carefully think about whether to face Itauma or choose another opponent.
Yeah, he's going to give these tough guys, he's going to give these veterans a hell of a time, bro. He's poised, he's patient, and he got that knockout power. He know how to set it up. It's going to be a nightmare to get rid of this guy, man.
There's been so much talk of Moses Itauma. His talent, we've said how talented he really is. Now he's doing on the big stage, the main event. That's another level now, isn't it?
Well, we know Dillian Whyte came in here being knocked out a couple times. Wanted to see could he land a punch on this young kid, but he didn't have a chance tonight. He got mowed over, and this is a big win for a young guy. But he got to continue to fight credible opponents, and he got to get tested. He got to fight a young fighter like himself and beat a credible opponent like that. Not these old, washed-up fighters that he can only just look good against. He got to get tested, too, to see if he's the real deal.
Now talk to me about Dillian. Obviously, we can see the work that you put in. Such a brilliant servant to the sport, isn't he?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
But Dillian, we can see the work that you put in this camp. Such a brilliant servant to sport. If this is the end, how good has Dillian Whyte been?
You know what? Dillian Whyte has been a staple in the heavyweight division. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He can only get hurt a lot worse than he did tonight. You know, fortunately, you know, he didn't get seriously injured, KO'd and knocked out unconscious. You know, he'll be able to take this loss and I think enjoy the rest of his retirement.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, Moses Itauma, is it time to see him in there with Alexander Usyk, or do you still think that might be too soon?
It's too soon for Usyk, bro. He got to earn his title shot. He got to beat a real contender. He beat a washed-up.
Anthony Prettyboy Taylor tweeted, "White took a _dive. Can't convince me that kid can beat Usyk." Reactions sparked plenty of debate as fans questioned whether Moses Itauma's victory over Dillian Whyte was genuine dominance or not. Taylor's comment showed clear doubt about Itauma's ability to compete with elite champions like Usyk in boxing. The idea of staging an event that brings together different generations always excites fans. Dekhiye Usyk has already set his eyes on a clash between Usyk and Itauma, describing it as the ultimate test between an old lion and a young lion. Usyk represents years of experience, refined skill, and championship pedigree, while Itauma embodies the hunger, strength, and ambition of youth. The storyline raises the big question: can youthful energy overwhelm wisdom and mastery inside the ring?
Fight for the opportunity. British boxing legend. So yeah, really pleased.
We spoke about this before in the week, and let's not kind of cut over the fact that Dillian Whyte has been in with everyone.
100%.
And this was a gamble from your side, from the second class between, say, a Dempsey McKean to someone like a Dillian Whyte. And that was a gamble. You took the gamble and it's paid off, but you shouldn't start saying, oh, Whyte was whatever now, because we didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
No, I think it's extremely disrespectful to have that approach. Like I say, nothing but respect with Dillian. Really appreciate him giving us the opportunity. And yeah, I think, you know, Moses deserves all the credit that he should be getting.
Did you expect it to come that early?
No, I didn't, being honest. You know, I know that he's always capable. He's a very difficult heavyweight to be in there with. Very difficult to defend against. He hits hard enough where he's hitting with shots that you don't see, and hits hard enough to put you away with those. So I know that it can come at any moment, but yeah, he saw the opportunity, picked up on something that he'd worked on. Big shout out to Lee Wiley as well. Puts a lot of time in, a lot of effort in, and fantastic in putting together a scouting report and picking up on Dillian's tendencies for us to go away and put together some drills and rep that with Moses, and yeah, it all paid off. Everyone.
Moses Itauma has not shied away from confidence, saying that his skill set is superior to Usyk's. This statement has stirred heavy debate, as Usyk is widely regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his era. Known for his movement, sharp combinations, and ability to adjust to any opponent, Usyk is a tough comparison. Yet at only 20 years old, Itauma believes his blend of speed, power, composure can surpass even a champion like Usyk. While some dismiss his claim as overconfidence, others see it as the fearless voice of a new generation, unafraid to challenge legends.
Certainly don't, and there weren't any overtime. It was an unbelievable, ruthless, short performance. Caught it with good shots and done an absolute job.
Did you expect that?
No. I fancied him to win. I thought he'd stop him, but I didn't think it'd be like that.
Frank Hrgovic next?
Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. No rush today. We've got a load of options, and we'll consider what we're going to do.
How do you match this guy now?
We'll match him.
But, no one's giving him rounds.
Many boxing analysts have expressed reservations about pushing Moses Itauma straight into a fight with Usyk. Their main argument is that Usyk is a master of the sport who has faced all types of styles and opponents. He has proven himself against some of the best heavyweights in the world and possesses a level of ring intelligence that cannot be underestimated. In contrast, Moses is still at the very beginning of his professional journey.
Was clearly done, and we'll get to whether or not Dillian Whyte is done. So there are going to be some that say, look, okay, what's Dillian Whyte done in the last couple of years? And these things are true, and I spoke about those things as well, but I don't want to change what the narrative was, what the narrative has been in the last couple of days. With everyone seeing the way Dillian Whyte looked and the way Dillian Whyte was speaking, I think a lot of people are like, well, 1 second, something might happen here. Let's remember that, because something did happen. Moses Itauma was just a steam train. Honestly, this guy, for 20 years of age, 20. Remember, all these heavyweights that you're seeing right now that are in their peak, are in their mid to late 30s, and most of them became world-level operators in their mid to late 20s. He's doing it as a baby. This guy is 20 years and 7 months. And, I've been around Andy Lee for the last couple of days, and it's been so good being around Andy, because Andy has told me stories of watching Moses spar Joseph Parker. And even Andy's been waxing lyrical about him. And he doesn't have to, right? This is off camera, this isn't on camera, these are private conversations. And he's like, this dude is good. Because there's been a lot of talk about if this was to go and turn into a dogfight, maybe Dillian Whyte would have the advantage. And I think I said this as well, to be fair. And Andy kind of shut that down straight away, said no. I've seen this guy in a dogfight. So maybe he's talking about the spars with Joseph Parker. But I'm just so excited about what this kid can be in the next 2 or 3 years. I am. I like the way the Americans are talking about him, because it's so hard for Brits to kind of get the thumbs up from American fight fans.
Analysts highlight that Moses' most notable victory came against Dillian Whyte, who at the time was inactive and far from his prime. While it was an impressive performance, they argue that one win over a declining veteran does not justify. Immediately throwing him into the ring with a generational talent like Usyk, they believe it would be more beneficial for Moses to test himself against fighters closer to his age and level of experience, such as Joseph Parker or other active contenders, before taking the ultimate leap.
Devastating, stunning, spectacular. You can throw all the words you want at it. It was brutal, and this is what I feared going in. I'm a bit, when fighters give their all to the career, and you watch them throughout the years having wars and giving everything, like Dillian Whyte against Chisora. You saw the action with the AJ fight. You look at him throughout all his career, he always goes out there, gives everything, has a tear up, is exciting, he's a big character, big personality. And then when they get to a stage of the career where you feel as though it's that fight where where it's kind of like it's way too much for him, and it's gonna be quite a nasty ending for him, a nasty ending to a career. kind of like, I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. I mean, that it don't get as, it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
Before we talk about what's potentially next for Dylan, let's talk about Moses. It's hard because we almost want to, I think, feel like we want to learn a bit more about him. No, genuinely.
Yeah.
I wanted at least to see about 4 or 5 rounds, and maybe I don't want to necessarily say, oh, get clipped with a few, because if you can move on,
You want questions asked, don't you?
I want to see, if you get dragged into the trenches a little bit, where can we go here? But you don't ever get that far. So is that, I suppose, maybe the only thing you go, I thought we'd have seen a bit more of him.
Yeah, that's what you want to tick boxes as a fan, as somebody who's trying to see how far this kid can go. When we get something spectacular, you want to see him have questions put in front of him and see, like you say, can they go a few rounds? What happens? Yeah, because there's still those unanswered questions that we've got. Can he carry it on throughout the later rounds? Can his feet stay sharp? Can he, does he retain that sharpness, past 6, 7?
Trainer Ben Davison has taken a slightly different perspective, seeing the potential fight as a unique opportunity for both men. According to Davison, the fact that Usyk has never shared the ring with Moses and vice versa makes the matchup particularly intriguing. He points out that while Usyk is undeniably experienced, has not yet encountered a young heavyweight with Moses' particular mix of speed, power, and fearlessness. From Davison's point of view, such a fight would not only test Moses' mettle but could also surprise Usyk. Every fighter has to face something new at some point in their career, and Moses could be the unexpected challenge that forces Usyk into uncomfortable territory.
Shape. He was a bigger step up than Moses Itauma had ever faced in his career. Remind you guys, the kid only has now 13 fights. And this was supposed to be somewhat of a test for Moses Itauma. This is supposed to tell us where he was in the pantheon of heavyweight and what you can do with him next. If he is going to struggle with guys like Dillian Whyte, you can't fast track him to a world title. If he goes out and does what he did, which is absolutely beat the brakes off Dillian Whyte, demolish him, and make it look like they should have never been in the ring together, then you have to fast track him to a world title. You have to have him fighting the best in the world. Whether it's Parker or Cabial, whoever's not fighting Usyk next, whether it's a returning Anthony Joshua, we'll talk about that in a second, whether it's a Tyson Fury, no one's probably going to want to take that risk right now because of their legacies, because of what's set in stone. So you're probably going to have to give him some younger, hungry heavyweights, like I said, a Parker or a Cabiel. But I'm telling you right now, it is not a matter of if, but when that kid gets to a world title, because, dog, he's out here making this look easy. He is playing heavyweight boxing on easy mode right now. And it's not because he's boosting the sliders. It's because the competition just is not there for him. They tried to give him a step up with Dillian Whyte, and he made it look like a walk in the park. Let's talk about the fight. They both walked out. By the way, Styles P on the walkout for Moses Itauma, him as the voiceover saying, the future isn't coming, the future is here, the future is now. That's some big fucking balls. I'm talking 2 grapefruits hanging in your shorts to walk out to your...
Derek Chisora has been blunt in his assessment, advising Moses Itauma to steer clear of pursuing a fight with Usyk at this stage. Chisora's reasoning is rooted in the belief that Moses is still far too young, and that chasing after inactive or aging legends is not the best way to build his career. Chisora himself has fought many top names in the division and understands the risks that come with rushing into big fights without proper preparation. He argues that Moses should instead focus on carving his own path by fighting active contenders, closer to his stage of development. Facing inactive legends may bring attention, but it does not necessarily provide the kind of experience that sustains a long and successful career.
Online shopping, something like that. I've never been a person to focus on that. My goal was never to be a superstar or to sell out Wembley, or that's never been on my agenda. Me personally, I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. It's just something that I do. If I don't box, I feel out of place. I don't feel comfortable in myself. So I'm chasing that thing that I've always had as a little kid. And that's just to be a fighter. And everything else kind of falls into place, doesn't it?
Any members, Gonzalo, question for Moses. You referenced in the pre-fight build-up that you felt that Whyte was as per the rules.
Joseph Parker has provided a more balanced outlook on the potential fight. He acknowledges that a bout between Usyk and Moses Itauma is possible, but he emphasizes that everything depends on Usyk's timeline and decision-making. As one of the sport's reigning champions and a proven veteran, Usyk has earned the right to decide when and against whom he fights next. Parker suggests that if Usyk is willing and ready to take on Moses, then negotiations will follow. However, he stops. Short of outright endorsing the idea, noting that both camps need to carefully consider the timing and circumstances.
We've got something here. Maybe we can, maybe he can go a couple of rounds. Not saying he's going to win, but maybe he can go a couple of rounds and, you know, pull something out. You know, maybe just be competitive. We've questions of Itauma that we need asked. Maybe Dillian Whyte is the guy to ask them. All right? And that's what we're thinking. Maybe, right? So, he had the fight week. And Dillian Whyte is very much in a, you know, it's the Itauma show, and being very respectful to Itauma. Now, some people were saying maybe that's Dillian Whyte trying to play mind games with Itauma, lull him into a false sense of security. Others were saying maybe it's him checked out. Again, I was kind of like, nah, it's probably him just playing the mind games. He'll probably get taken out, but Itauma will go rounds. Dillian Whyte weighs in. Career lightest, or no, sorry, not career lightest, but lightest he's been in a decade. And I spoke to a few people in Saudi who were there today and said that they think the scales were a little bit off and that he actually could have been lighter, right, believe it or not. So everyone was buzzing for this. Now, I did say, I think yesterday in the video I did, that maybe Dillian Whyte, could he have taken the weight off too soon? Could he be a little bit weak? Who knows, right? But either way, we go to the fight tonight. They're both in the ring. Dillian Whyte looks on it. And here we go. It's fight night. Now, from the get-go, the speed was a problem for Dillian Whyte. Itauma was just too fast. You could see it. That hand speed, like that. It was just phenomenal. And you're just like, oh God. For me...
Promoter Frank Warren has expressed his enthusiasm for a potential Usyk versus Moses showdown, but remains cautious about rushing into it. According to Warren, the idea of such a fight is certainly appealing. And if Dekhiye Usyk, who has become a central figure in bringing major boxing events to Saudi Arabia, wants the fight, then serious discussions could be held. However, Warren stresses that nothing is currently planned. The decision will require input from all stakeholders, including Usyk's camp, Moses' team, and the event organizers. Warren's approach is pragmatic, recognizing that while fans are eager to see the young star challenged, the timing and circumstances must be right.
So what's your immediate reaction to the fight, and what do you think went wrong tonight?
He got caught and couldn't recover, basically. You know what I mean? If that's all you can say, you can't say nothing else. You know, got hit with a good shot, didn't recover, and the referee did what he felt was right.
A lot of people will obviously say, you know, was it the inactivity? Is he still in his prime days? All that kind of stuff. Sometimes take the credit away from Moses. What do you think?
You know what? Right now, my mind is like blank, to be honest. You know what I mean? So, my mind is blank, to be honest, right now. I mean, I don't want to say anything out of character, so not in a bad way, but like your mind is going 1,000 times right now. So, I'm just gonna hang out with him the rest of the night and enjoy the rest of the stay here in Saudi Arabia.
Just the last word on Moses Itauma. How good is he from what you just saw ringside, close up?
Listen, I know the kid is good.
Eddie Hearn has offered praise for Moses Itauma's performance, but also sympathy for Dillian Whyte, who was knocked out in shocking fashion. Hearn acknowledges that Whyte earned a good payday from the fight, but admits the result was not what many had expected. For Moses, the victory was career-changing, yet Hearn believes it should be a stepping stone rather than a launch pad into an immediate clash with Usyk.
Yeah, you'd have worked sort of tirelessly over the last few weeks over the game plan. Was you surprised with how early it went with that?
No, we knew there was an opportunity of that. Like I said there, Lee Wiley lost his mum through that camp, so really appreciative of the work that he always does. put together a scouting report, picked up on Dillian's tendencies to a T. You know, we repped it, drilled it, and Moses went out there and executed it. So, fantastic job. And as we keep saying, he's a very, very difficult fighter to get through the rounds with, and you know, without taking punishment. He's hitting you with shots that you don't see coming. He hits plenty hard enough to hurt you with those shots. So, yeah, we like I say, knew it was a possibility.